from Washington by Congresswoman Diane Lynn Black, Republican from Tennessee, from the 6th District. Congresswoman Black, thanks very much for joining us. Just to give your thoughts on these different plans that are being proposed, is there anything new in either of them that makes you feel more optimistic that we'll get some kind of resolution?
Well, I think in our House budget plan, you see that we did balance our budget from last year's plan, but it was a lot further out. This time, our plan, as you have probably already learned, balances in 10 years, which is something new and something that we have had our colleagues and others, especially constituents out in my district, say, why can't you do it faster and sooner? And so this is a new part of our plan this year. I don't know about the Democrats' plan because I haven't seen it, and I will be interested in seeing what it is that they're going to put out and send to us.
Congresswoman Black, as you described, people from your district, from the 6th District, we're talking about the area, a little bit east of, north and east of Nashville. For example, you're from Gallatin. Big employers there are Gap, R.R. Donnelley. There's also health care. What are you hearing from people in your district about what is described as dysfunction in Washington?
Well, we hear it all the time from businesses, big, small, and in between. People are uncertain, and what we do in our budget is we give them certainty. We have a plan. We have a path to prosperity. We show them how this can be done so that we can balance our budget, and we can do what Washington should be doing, and that is not spending more than what they take in. Shouldn't do it in your household, and you shouldn't do it in your business.
Congresswoman Black, you serve on Ways and Means as well as the Budget Committee, but you've also got a background in health care. Tell us a little bit more about your nursing background and how that plays into your thoughts having to do with health care reform.
Well, it really does help to have been a practitioner that was in the field. And one of the things that I probably have a little bit of an up from my other colleagues around the country is that I served in the state Senate and the state House when we had TennCare, which was the universal health care plan that Hillary Clinton wanted to put in place. And we had a disaster there. So I've already been through universal health care one time, and I can tell you that it does not work. And so I have grave concerns about Obamacare or the Patient Affordability Act. I do have some experience along those lines.
Having said that, Congresswoman, what do you think will happen as states begin to implement the reforms to health care? They've got to set up these health care exchanges.
Well, I think that people are going to be surprised because, as the president said during the time before this was passed, he said, if you like your plan, you can keep it. And we're now finding that's not true. He said this would bring the cost of health care down, and we're finding that's not true. He said also that everyone would have coverage, but we're now seeing that there's a group of people in the middle who may not have coverage from their employers and won't be able to afford coverage, and yet they're going to be paying a penalty. So there are a lot of things that were said about this plan that they're going to find are not true and don't work, just as TennCare did not work.
Congresswoman Black, as one of the two freshmen who joined the House Ways and Means Committee, I'm wondering if you can give us a little detail on tax reform. Are we going to see any tax reform in this Congress?
Yes, we are. We are working very hard, as you may know, for the last 2 years. We did a lot of work on the corporate side, even put out a draft plan where we got a lot of information back from those that are going to be affected by the plan, those stakeholders. And we now are concentrating on the individual side. Of course, about 80% of our businesses are small businesses that are passed through, and their tax implications are through the individual tax code. So we are doing hearings. We have 12 different work groups. I happen to chair the work group on education and family. And so we're going about our business being very transparent, getting people to come in and talk to us about those tax provisions that are already in the code, why they're important, whether they believe there's something that should continue, what that implication might be. And we want to be sure, as we did with the corporate tax reforms, that we also are doing the same thing with individuals, where we're getting the stakeholders to let us know what they think about it and be transparent.
I want to thank you very much for joining us, Congresswoman Diane Lynn Black, representing the 6th District of Tennessee, Republican. That's just east of Nashville. Thanks.